Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a company valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. I have the privilege today of discussing strategic planning and how to sell a business today with Jennifer Smith, a business broker in Cape Girardeau, Missouri with Murphy Business. Some people are going to say, okay, well, that seems complex. Like I know Joe down the street, he runs a similar type of business. Like I think he would buy my business. So can I just sell my business by myself? Or do I really need a business broker? I mean, I think that that's what goes through people's heads. So tell us more about kind of why we would need a business broker to get involved.
Sure. So there are some people that can sell the business themselves. Typically, those people are not super involved in the day-to-day operations of their company because, and they've got sufficient time on their hands because selling your business is very time consuming, right? So if you're going to try to do it yourself, make sure that you're not tapped out and really heavily in demand at your company. You need to make sure that you have a really good, strong team around you. You want to make sure that you've got an M&A or mergers and acquisitions attorney on your team, that you have a really good accountant who can talk about the tax impact that the sale is going to have and make sure that you really understand what that's going to look like for you. And somebody who can help negotiate and get the emotions out of the equation, because there's nothing more frustrating than to see a seller try to represent themselves and get offended by the first offer. Well, the first offer is going to be low. That's part of negotiating.
Right.
But you can't let your emotions get in the driver's seat. So there are some people who can sell the business themselves. I would say for the most part, a business broker is going to be a very smart move for maybe 95% of people. Not only because you know exactly what your cost structure is going to be for your sale. It's typically a flat fee as opposed to an hourly rate. If you're doing it yourself, you're basically giving your attorney and your accountant, your negotiator, you're giving them a blank check. And to me, that's scary because I don't know what my cost of selling my business is going to be. As opposed to using a business broker where you know upfront that you're only going to pay if you're successful with your sale, and you know exactly what that price tag is going to be at the end. But the business broker, they're going to take the emotion out of it for you because they're going to negotiate on your behalf. They're going to find good qualified buyers. In the case of a roofing company that we're working with, we just brought them 3 offers. They literally had their pick of 3 separate buyers with 3 different three offers that were structured very differently, but they got their pick. And we like to be able to do that. That helps preserve the purchase price. But you're very likely going to have more offers. You're going to have a larger footprint. You're going to have national exposure. You're going to be able to sell confidentially, which is a whole lot more difficult when you're representing yourself and trying to sell it yourself. The negotiations happen on your behalf, get the emotion out of it. The actual contracts, the offers, the due diligence process, all of that's handled for you. The buyer gets assistance with shopping financing and things like that. Escrow happens through your broker. The closing documents happen through your broker, typically with a flat fee by a third-party attorney. And the closing happens with the broker. So there are a whole lot of reasons that you would want to have a professional involved. I tell sellers, I don't know how to run your business. I've never done that before. I've never run a manufacturing company. I've never run a medical office. I don't know how to do that. But you also don't know how to do what I know how to do. So let's everybody just stay in our lanes, do what we do best, and let your broker take care of the sale because that's what they do and that's how they get paid.
Well, and I think you brought up 2 really good points, which is, regardless of how you sell your business, you're going to have to put together a team. Mm-hmm. So if you want if you're going to put together a team, you want a team of experts. So you want an expert at knowing how to sell the business. You want an expert knowing how to value the business. You want an expert at the tax ramifications. Do you, Mr. Person that's selling or Mrs. Person that's selling, do you know the difference between a stock sale and an asset sale? Well, okay, those are things that are going to be those have immense implications in the deal. Are you going to get an attorney? And you mentioned fixed fees or flat fees. That's a good question to ask somebody who wants to get involved. What is your fee structure? Because some people don't operate in that space. But I'll give you one example that I think drives your point home, in that the time. Okay. The time and effort that it takes to market a business for sale, especially blind, so that not everybody knows that you're for sale. But then you're going to start getting questions of like, well, what happened there? What happened in 2000 this? And what happened in 2000 this? And you don't have the answers to this question. Well, where are your financials? You're going to get bombarded with this, and then you're going to get overwhelmed.